President Park Geunhye calls South Korea's single-term presidency system outdated and proposes revising the constitution. A senior Chinese official visits North Korea to discuss border-related issues, but speculation mounts over how the talks could affect international sanctions against Pyongyang. Plus, Samsung Electronics rolls out a new compensation plan for its Galaxy Note 7 customers as Korea's tech giant pushes hard to retain their brand loyalty. These and more coming right up. Hello, it's Tuesday, October 25th here in Seoul. Welcome to our newscast. I'm Hwang Ji-hye. Our top story this morning, President Park Geunhye has rolled out her plans to begin the process of revising the constitution to allow presidents to serve more than one term. President Park told lawmakers Monday that she's determined to make it a reality before she leaves office in early 2018. Song Ji-sun starts us off.
President Park has vowed to put the revision into effect before her single 5-year term ends, citing the outstanding difficulties she has experienced over the past 3 years and 8 months she's been in office. She said the challenges facing Korea cannot be tackled with just a handful of policies or reforms, and that the revision must be approached with the next century in mind.
대통령 단임제로 정책의 연속성이 떨어지면서 지속 가능한 국정과제의 추진과 결실이 어렵고 대외적으로 일관된 외교 정책을 펼치기에도 어려움이 큽니다. 북한은 몇 년만 버티면 된다는 생각으로 핵과 미사일 개발을 수십 년 동안 멈추지 않고 있고 경제 주체들은 5년마다 바뀌는 정책들로 인하여 안정적이고 장기적인 투자와 경영에 어려움을 느끼고 있습니다.
President Park said that the single-term presidency can no longer serve the needs of a changing society and said now seemed the right time and place to answer the call from the public and the political realm to go ahead with the revision. Public polls indicate that 70% of Korean people agree with the idea of revising the constitution, and nearly 200 lawmakers, or 2/3 of the total, are engaged in a parliamentary movement to proceed with the revision.
저는 오늘부터 개헌을 주장하는 국민과 국회의 요구를 국정 과제로 받아들이고 개헌을 위한 실무적인 준비를 해 나가겠습니다. 임기 내에 헌법 개정을 완수하기 위해 정부 내에 헌법 개정을 위한 조직을 설치해서 국민의 여망을 담은 개헌안을 마련하도록 하겠습니다.
President Park also asked lawmakers to set up a special parliamentary committee and to gather public opinion on the issue to further develop and discuss the scope and content of the tasks ahead. On what kind of government structure the president has in mind, the presidential office said that the decision should be made through open discussion with the public and the politicians, but added that the president should take the leading role in that process. Song Ji-sun, Arirang News.
And there was a sharp divide along party lines on President Park Geunhye's proposal for ending the single-term limit and revising the constitution. Park Ji-won has more on the responses.
The ruling Saenuri Party welcomed the president's address, particularly her pledge to move forward with revising the constitution, which currently stipulates a single 5-year term for presidents. The party said now is the time to start discussing the matter to reflect both the changes in society and the challenges of the future, and it vowed to gather public opinion on the matter.
The Saenuri Party vows to faithfully take up the revision issue by listening to experts and the public for Korea's bright and hopeful future.
The main opposition Democratic Party of Korea criticized the president's sudden change in stance on the issue. It said it cannot accept the revision proposal now when the top office is marred in corruption allegations.
President Park flatly rejected the constitutional revision 2 years ago. She said it would ruin the economy because revision discussions would eclipse every other issue like a black hole. She made the issue taboo. Thus, we cannot accept the authenticity of the revision proposal.
The minor opposition People's Party said it welcomes the revision, but it too was critical of the move. Echoing the main opposition party, it questioned the president's timing and asked why the presidential office would move forward with the revision now after having ignored the opposition bloc's requests for so long.
It's a bit fishy that the president would propose a revision at this time, because it seems that the presidential office would want to cover up the recent stirring of corruption allegations against it.
The party added that a constitutional revision is not a cure-all and not every problem in the nation's political realm has originated with the document. It concluded by urging the top office and the ruling party to focus on more urgent issues. Park Geunhye, Arirang News.
A top Chinese official has made a visit to Pyongyang that some pundits say could be an attempt by China to ease tensions in the region. Eyes are focused on how the visit could impact international sanctions against the regime. Kwon Jang-ho takes a closer look.
North Korean state media have confirmed that China's Vice Foreign Minister Liu Zhenmin arrived in Pyongyang on Monday for talks with senior officials. The Korean Central News Agency said the talks were related to issues on the Chinese-North Korean border. Although Japan's Kyodo News first reported that Liu had made the unexpected trip earlier in the day, officials at South Korea's foreign ministry said they had already been made aware of the trip by their Chinese counterparts and reiterated that they were told the discussions were expected to be on border-related issues. It's the first time a Chinese official has visited Pyongyang in 8 months since the country's top nuclear envoy, Wu Dawei, went for 3 days to meet with several senior officials. That trip came shortly after the regime's 4th nuclear test, and the talks ended with no progress made in de-escalating North Korea's provocations. Since then, Pyongyang has carried out another nuclear test and several missile launches. But it's hoped that this visit could be more fruitful.
China has been reviewing its relationship with North Korea since the autumn, whether it should follow the international position of strong sanctions or support the regime like it did before. I think they might have leaned towards the latter, but in order to bring North Korea back to the discussion table. Either way, this trip seems to be meant to let the Pyongyang leadership know of their intentions.
Although the trip may have come as a surprise, in the coming days, the international community will now be keeping a close eye on the talks. Kwon Jang-ho, Arirang News.
U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Antony Blinken is set to visit South Korea, China, and Japan this week for talks on international security issues and North Korea's nuclear ambitions. The State Department says Blinken will be in Tokyo for 2 days from Wednesday for trilateral talks with his South Korean and Japanese counterparts. He will travel on to Seoul on Friday and Saturday for talks with South Korea's Deputy National Security Advisor Cho Tae-yong. They will discuss international efforts to hold North Korea accountable for its provocations. Following his talks in the South Korean capital, Blinken will fly to Beijing to discuss strategic security issues, including North Korea and maritime issues. Japan plans to take extra steps to minimize its business transactions with nations that have close dealings with North Korea. The Japanese government says it's reviewing imposing trade restrictions with foreign companies that aid Pyongyang by either hiring workers from North Korea or engaging in direct trade with the North. Tokyo-based Kyodo News Agency reports that Chinese companies located near the border with North Korea are being closely monitored. North Korea has profited by selling its laborers to other countries, and Japan believes those funds are being directly channeled into North Korea's nuclear and missile programs. Experts say Japan's efforts will be in accordance with international efforts to limit North Korea's nuclear ambitions. Samsung Electronics is offering Galaxy Note 7 owners in Korea the chance to upgrade their device to a Note 8 or half price when the next iteration of the company's phablet series is launched next year. Oh Jung-hee has more on Samsung's domestic exchange program for the ill-fated Note 7.
Samsung has announced additional compensation for Galaxy Note 7 owners in Korea. For those who choose to exchange their Note for a Galaxy S7 or S7 Edge, Samsung will offer a 50% discount next year if they want to upgrade to an S8 or Note 8. Korean smartphone users usually pay monthly installments for 24 months when they buy a new device, but these customers will be exempt from installments for 12 months if they decide to take one of the flagship models. So consumers getting Galaxy S8 next March will have to pay installments for just 6 more months at that point, and those getting a Note 8 next August won't have to pay any additional installments. The new plan also applies to those who've already exchanged their phones for a Galaxy S7 or S7 Edge. That exchange option is available until the end of next month, meaning consumers will soon have to decide whether or not to jump to those models. Samsung added that when it comes to repairing devices, Note 7 owners will get priority, along with a 50% discount. The previous set of measures remain in place. That is, Note 7 owners can get a full refund or exchange their device to other Samsung models such as Galaxy S7, S7 Edge, or the Note 5. People who choose a Samsung device will be provided with gift cards worth around $25 and a voucher for $60 toward their phone bill. A move to hold on to its loyal consumers, Samsung is expected to announce similar measures overseas as well. 오정희, Arirang News.
Questions, curiosity, creativity, ideas. Researchers often say that these are the 4 secrets to scientific breakthroughs. And for more on where Korea stands on blue sky research today, Moon Geon-young reports.
Most of the matter in the universe is dark. Without dark matter, galaxies and stars would not have formed and life would not exist. It holds the universe together. But what is it? That's the ultimate question that brought Yanis Simarsidis from a lab in New York to Korea, to this pristine lab. At the center of this $7.6 million per year research project, the quest for Axion.
I'm also call it a cavity, and this is our basic Axion detector. Almost everything we do right now is using cylinders like this.
These gleaming cylindrical apparatus of copper and gold are prototypes of a device that might one day answer a major mystery about the universe. But here's a catch. No one knows whether axions even exist. So what if they end up finding no such particle exists?
It will be great because our goal is not really detecting the axion and we really truly believe there is an axion. This is not research. If we find out, there is no axion, then also we figure it out.
If CAP succeeds in finding axion, it will not only transform Korea but rewrite physics.
Because I want Korea to be able to produce Nobel Prizes year after year. And it is the attitude that will make this possible.
Dr. Ryu Ryong is a globally recognized chemist, the recipient of many prestigious awards around the world.
Zeolite's nanoporous systems are an ideal template for the synthesis of three-dimensional graphene architecture. We lowered the temperature required for the carbonization by embedding lanthanum ions.
The breakthrough discovery was published in Nature, one of the world's most prestigious scientific journals. But it wasn't overnight that Ryu Ryong and his team could solve this centuries-old conundrum. It took them 17 years to arrive at the eureka moment. Why? For what?
It's the scientist's curiosity and love for challenge. What's key for a scientist is creativity and originality.
Take your chances, these scientists say, because the society should be able to say it's okay to fail. Moon Geon-young, Arirang News.
And that wraps it up for now. Thank you for watching. I'll be back in less than 2 hours for more news updates, so do stay tuned, and goodbye for now.